Good morning to all of you. In our last classes, we have been discussed about Fraunhofer single slit experiment and the intensity distributions, and Fraunhofer double slit experiment and that intensity distribution. Today we are going to discuss about Fraunhofer diffraction of N slit and how the intensity distribution we are going to found on the screen. So let's start. So in case of Fraunhofer diffraction of N slit or multiple slit, this is the whole experimental arrangement. Here we can put the slits of N numbers. See, this is one slit, this is and opaque, then another slit and opaque, then we can found N number of slit. Here you can easily identify that this is the slit and this is the opaque region. Okay, so again this is the slit, this is the opaque region, like this. So rays are coming from this side, incident rays, and some of the ray will be moved straight line and will be interferes or they are going to be superimposed at O. So as they are not diffracted, so O point on the screen, this is the screen. So this is the screen. So at O point we are going to get, at O point on the screen we are going to get the bright fringe. Okay, so some of the ray through the slit, they are going to be diffracted along this way, like from the slit S1 the ray straight is moved in this way and reaches at O, which is belongs to bright. But the ray which is travels in this direction, that S1 T1 P, and like that from slit 2 S2 T2 P, these are the diffracted ray from the normal incident. This is the normal incident and this is the diffracted ray which is diffracted through an angle theta. So due to these diffracted ray, these diffracted rays are interferes at the point P. We can get either bright or dark, or what kind it will be, that we are going to be discuss. So this is the whole arrangement of the Fraunhofer diffraction of N slit. Here slit width has been taken as A and the opaque width has been taken as B. So here the same thing it has been written in our note, so no need to be worry about this writing, that let a parallel beam of wavelength, single wavelength lambda is incident on N number of parallel slit. See here N number of slits. A is the width of the slit, B is the width of the opaque region, and here the grating element is nothing but A plus B. Addition between slit width plus opaque width will be called as the so-called grating element. Okay, so whenever the slits is going to be increased N numbers, before we have been studied single slit diffraction, double slit diffraction. Here N slit diffraction, and this instrument or this kind of slits arrangement is nothing but called as the grating, that we are going to be discussed detail in our next chapter. So all the secondary waves from different slits will be reaches at O which same phase. Therefore at the point O will be central maxima on the screen. So undeviated rays that are moved from all the slits and reaches at O, they all have same phase. So there is no path difference between S1 to O, S2 to O, and like that Sn to O. So as there is no path difference, so at O obviously we are going to get the maxima or bright fringe. But if we have to consider the secondary waves which are diffracted through the slits with an angle theta and reaches at the point P on the screen, that will be the questions. That at point P, which we are going to get the diffracted ray are reaches, all the diffracted ray are reaches at the point P. The point P is what will be, that we are going to discuss. See, we have to move for the next page. Next page we have derived that point P will be maxima or minima. For that, as the figure, our figure is in this page, so it is difficult to explain the figure and the writing explanation in that page. So only for that I have drawn another figure for you. Whenever I am going to go for the next page, I am trying to whenever I am trying to explain these things. So this figure you can refer the same thing, same figure. No need not to be worried about this. Okay. So here another thing I am to I have to say to you, a perpendicular from S1 to drawn on this lines. So this figure and this figure is same. Okay. So for explanation I drawn once again. So no problem. So now, thus that dark and bright fringes, the P point, this P point may be dark and bright fringes can be observed on the both the side of the central fringe. So here from the center, if it will be the bright fringe, which is distance y, and exactly same distance y also we are going to get the bright corresponding its symmetry point, corresponding bright or dark, that we are going to be observed. So now we have to draw the perpendicular S1 K1 S2 K2 up to S1 K n minus 1 from S1. From S1 we have to draw the perpendiculars. So from S1 to up to this much we drawn the perpendiculars, that is S1 K1, S1 K2, S1 K3 up to S1 K n minus 1. These are the perpendicular we drawn on the diffracted rays. So now the path difference between S1 and S2, it was initially written in the note. I have been modified that for S1 we can write S1 T1P, for S2 we can write S2 T2P. That means here the line is telling that the path difference between S1 T1P and S2 T2P. What will the path difference? The path difference is S2 K1. S2 K1. Whenever I am drawing the normal on the S2 T2, then S2 K1. This was nothing but the path difference between S1 T1P and S2 T2P. So S2. So this much distance is nothing but S2. This point is named as S2. S2 K1. So S2 K1 is nothing but equal to A plus B sin theta. How? Now we have to consider the triangle. Suppose S1 K1 S2. Consider the triangle S1 K1 S2. So as this is theta angle, this is also angle theta. Okay. This figure I will be send you. This is a larger one. I will be send you. Need not to be worried. So considering the triangle S1 K1 S2, sin theta is equal to this S2 K1 by this distance from S1 to S2. Okay. So S2 K1 is nothing but our path difference. So S2 K1, that implies S2 K1 is equal to S1 S2 into sin theta. Okay. So S1 S2 is how much? See, we know that this slit width is A and opaque width is B. So half of the slit width is how much? A by 2. See here, S1 is at center of the slit. This is the slit. So S1 as the center. So from center to edge of this opaque is a by 2. This is a by 2. Okay, this is a by 2. This is b plus b. Okay, plus this is a by 2. So from this S1 to S2 will be a plus b. A plus b. Got it? Again I am going to tell to you. See, S1 to edge of this opaque will be a by 2. This distance is b because width of the opaque. Then as S2 is at the center of this slit, then this distance also a by 2. So from this to this a by 2, this is b plus again a by 2. So this is a plus b. Okay. So hence we found the path reference S2K1 is equal to a plus b sin theta. S2K1 is a plus b sin theta. Obviously its corresponding phase difference will be 2 pi by lambda into path difference 2 pi by lambda into a plus b sin theta. Okay, let phi equal to 2 beta. This much have been considered as 2 beta. That implies 2 pi by lambda a plus b sin theta is equal to 2 beta. That is, it is considered. Now we have to consider the phase difference between S1 and S3. Here S1 is changed as S1 T1P. S2 is changed its name as S3 changed as S3 T3P. So here it is telling that what will be the path difference between S1 T1P and S3 T3P. What will be the path difference? Path difference will be S3 K2. This will be the path difference. This will be the path difference. Okay. So how much this will be? Because if this to this is equal to a plus b, then S1 to S3 will be how much? Will be 2a plus b. Okay. Will be 2a plus b. So likewise, the path difference S3K2 will be how much? Likewise, S3K2. So S3K2 will be, path difference will be here 2 into a plus b sin theta. You can consider S1 S3 K2 triangle. Okay, this one S1 S3 K2 triangle. So sin theta will be S3. Sin theta is equal to S3 K2. So if we are going to consider this triangle S1 S3 K2, the sin theta will be S3 K2 divided by this distance diagonal, which will be 2 into a plus b. That implies S3 K2 will be 2 into a plus b sin theta. And we considered that a plus b sin theta, carefully you have to observe, for a plus b sin theta, what is the phase difference? Phase difference is 2 beta. Likewise, for 2 into a plus b sin theta path difference, the phase difference will be 2 into 2 beta will be 4 beta. Again, for a plus b sin theta path difference, the corresponding phase difference we found 2 beta. Now the path difference is 2 into a plus b sin theta. The corresponding phase difference will be 4 pi. Likewise, we can found S1 T1P and S1 T4P. S1 T1P and S4 T4P, the corresponding phase difference will be 6 beta. Here you can observe one thing. See, here n is, here S3. S3 means the n number, in which number of slit? 3 number of slit. So here n is 3. Okay, n is 3, and its corresponding phase difference, how much I got? 4 beta. That means 3 minus 1 into 2 beta. 3 minus 1 is 2 into 2 is equal to 4 beta. Likewise, see, here what is the slit? 4. How much I got? 6 beta. That means 4 minus 1 into 2 beta. The 4 minus 1 is how much? 3 into 2 is equal to 6 beta. Likewise, if we are going to consider S1 and Sn, or S1 T1P and Sn TNP, S1 T1P and Sn TNP, what will be the phase difference? Phase difference will be 2 into n minus 1. See, n minus, here n is 4, 4 minus 1, here n is n in general, so 2 into n minus 1 into beta. 2 into n minus 1, this is nothing, this is nothing. So 2 into n minus 1 into beta. So like that we found the corresponding phase difference between all the diffracted ray with corresponding to S1 T1P. Here we can observe one thing, that the phase difference between S1 T1P, S2 T2P is how much? Is 2 beta. S1 T1P, S3 T3P is 4 beta. Okay. S1 T1P, S4 T4P is 6 beta. Okay. But if we are going to consider conjugative phase difference, S1 T1P, S2 T2P is 2 beta. S2, carefully watch, S2 T2P and S3 T3P, in between two rays, the phase difference will be, again it will be 2 beta. 4 beta minus 2 beta will be 2 beta. So means comparatively, or phase difference between two conjugative rays will be 2 beta. Will be 2 beta. Between two conjugative rays is 2 beta. So now the resultant amplitude of all secondary diffracted wavelets or waves diffracted which are diffracted angle theta is equivalent to a single wave of amplitude is this one, A sin alpha by alpha. So this things is telling that if we have to consider one slit. So here consider one slit width is this one. Here in our ray diagram we have been shown that only one ray is coming from this diffracted from this slit, but numbers of ray has been diffracted along this. So numbers of ray is diffracted and again it is refracted through this lens and it is comes to the point P. Since like that, through all the slit, numbers of rays has been diffracted. So here we can say that the diffracted wavelets which are diffracted theta to a single wave, we consider that it will be a single wave whose amplitude is A sin alpha by alpha, which is, because we know from the single slit experiment that the amplitude of a diffracted ray that is A sin alpha by alpha. Here A is the constant and alpha is pi A sin theta by alpha. Here A is the slit width. Now therefore the resultant of n amplitudes, here this amplitude is only for one slit. Okay, how many number of slit we have been considered? N number of slits. So n number of amplitude you have to consider now here. So n amplitudes each have the value A lambda by lambda. Here you have to write this is A. Correct it. Okay, this is A sin alpha by alpha, and phase difference of 2 beta will be provide maximum or minima at the point P. So now the resultant amplitude at point P will be, so each have how much? A sin alpha into sin n beta by beta. This expression where it has been came, maybe you have been remembered one thing, whenever we have been considered this one initially superposition of large number of simple harmonic motion, that means each and every waves, this is P1, P1Q, Q2T, T2M, these are all the waves. So these have equal amplitude A and phase difference theta. When they are going to be superimposed with each other, then we are going to get the resultant amplitude is A. Each of the amplitude, that is A, sine n theta by 2 and theta by 2. Same thing it has been written here. So each of the slit having the amplitude is A sin alpha. Instead of A, I can write A sin alpha. Okay. Now sine n beta by beta, because here it is written that sine n theta by 2 and theta by 2. Here theta is phase difference. His theta is phase difference. So instead of theta, I can write how much? Sine n 2 beta by 2, because here we have the phase difference is 2 beta. So in this way we can write 2 beta by beta divided by sine 2 beta by beta. So what will the answer we are going to get? We are going to get A sin alpha by alpha into sine n beta by beta. See, so here 2 got cancel, sine n beta, 2 got cancel, sine beta. So from this term we got sine n beta by beta, and this is nothing but A sin alpha by alpha. Okay, so resultant amplitude at point P will be, you can refer this one. You go back to with your note and refer this one. Okay. In this way we can get the resultant amplitude at point P will be this one. So you can also pause this video here and you can write here, because previously we know that R equal to A sin n theta by 2 by sin n theta by 2. Here in this case, here is nothing but theta is nothing but 2 beta and n is nothing but n. Here you can pause this video, you can write these things. Now considering this resultant amplitude, we can easily find the intensity, which is K into R square, that is K into A square sin square alpha sin square n beta by sin square n beta. So from this we can get principal maxima and minima, other things whatever in your note, and this graph that we are going to discuss in our next class. So today up to this you have to go through this video and check the note and correct the note. Okay, thank you.